kind of make my stomach turn when I brung it up. Wait.
Cook it up, gourmet. I go Super Saiyan, go tank. Anything I ever do is top rank. Got more bars than a Shawshank. Cook it up, gourmet. I go Super Saiyan, go tank. Anything I ever do is top rank. Got more bars than a Shawshank.
All right, Coach, the day's growing shorter, and folks in these parts gearing up for ski season, but we've got football to keep us busy right now from Empower Field at Mile High. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cleveland Browns and the Denver Broncos. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line.
At their own 27-yard line.
They'll run on first down. Swift calling no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense. Linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
On second down now. Swift. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down.
Brandon, after last week, we went over 200 yards. Looks like the hot tub, cold tub, whatever he did, it worked pretty well.
Much chatter about that performance. Rightfully so. AFC Offensive Player of the Week. On first down, Swift. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45. Last week, of course, the great performance, over 200 yards. He still wants to be fed.
And they should. That's exactly what you should do. I have not yet met a running back that's run for over 200 yards that says the very next week, hey, let's back things up.
Yeah, I don't need it as much.
No, they want it more and more. They're going to be ready to go because they think that's going to happen naturally now.
On second down, Swift. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
They'll run on first down. Huntley, and they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it.
Double time. Even. 4 down.
On second down now. Huntley, he'll get about 4 here. Down to the 43-yard line.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Check, Mike 57. Yeah, let's get a sack.
Now it's Roethlisberger. It's brought in by Harris. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. Here we go on 4th down. Give him 14 yards there and a Denver first down.
Well, that's what's called being aggressive right there. But I don't know that it's reckless. I think it's much more of a message. Hey, defense, I believe in you in case we don't get it. And offense, trying to let him know he believes in them as well.
I like it. Your first drive of the game in plus territory. Be aggressive. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Only a yard on the pickup, and now they've got a 3rd down and 8.
Like 30. Check, 59. Here we go. Alert. Kill.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
57 to Mike. 57.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Broncos take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Extra point good by Prater. And it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Set. 10 Lobo. Recon, 132.
Now the 3rd leading rusher in the NFL last year, Todd Gurley. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Gurley. And the tackle there by Quan Alexander.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Go. Hey, Sam off.
Here's Gurley now out of the gun. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. With that last effort, he topples the 5,000-yard mark for his career. And then under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. The defensive player of the year, Aaron Donald. And that's going to make it 4th down. The start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Browns in control of the football. But likely not for long as they're in punt formation to kick it away. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. $12 yards on the return that time. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in. But I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're number one in their conference.
And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard. On 2nd and 9, Roethlisberger. This goes to the tight end, Eric Saubert. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Boy, he ran free there after the catch as that winds up going for 38. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now a give, right side. Swift. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Now they'll try to take advantage of that offsides call. Here's 1st and 5. Now a give, right side. Huntley looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain there on 1st and 5, and it leaves him with a more standard 2nd down.
50 seconds. Here we go. Here we go.
On 2nd down, Huntley. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. On 3rd down, Huntley. And they're going to stop him short of the 1st down as he's tackled at about the 21. That'll be good for 6, but now it's 4th down.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
So he needed a little assist from his friend the right upright, but 3 points all the same.
Yeah, he's a right-footed kicker. Normally, you don't mess with the right upright as a right-footed kicker, right? You're trying to bring it back right to left. But in this case, he got the assist. Right was right.
The Browns drive about to get started. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Eason. And the Broncos get there and take him down. The defensive player of the year, Aaron Donald. And it'll be a 2nd and long. Looking to throw. Eason. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. The free safety, Malik Hooker, there in coverage.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Eason. And it's incomplete, broken up. But there is a flag down. Let's see what that's about. So they decline it as that will bring up 4th.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it 4th down.
And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And out will come the offense as they take over. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
On 2nd down now, Swift. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
No spacing.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
On first down, Swift. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
66.
On second down, Huntley. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. Roethlisberger now to throw on 3rd down. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. The Broncos had 15 fourth down conversions last year, most in the NFL, and they're going here.
50.
4th down, here's Roethlisberger. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Troy Apke, and he will take it out to the 25-yard line.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
A little under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10. Got a man. It's Brashad Perriman. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Hey, shoot. Stay with your man. Check rock it. Ready.
Back to throw. Eason. They'll let this go for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Fabian Moreau. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
Jack 16. These 2.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead. And that's going to leave them with just one timeout remaining still in the third quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt them. We'll be back. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. Now a hit and a loose football. Fighting his way, and he will score. Touchdown, Denver. Jermaine Gresham, his second touchdown on the season. And the Broncos push further out in front. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there, because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
From the gun on third down, Eason. It's complete. This is Todd Gurley. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a first down. On first and 10, Eason. And going deep for Hill. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to him.
He'll get 3 up to midfield. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Looking to throw. Eason flushed out right. He's going to dump it off to Gurley. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 22-yard line. Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter.
Here we go. 10 logo. 56. Look, squeeze. Big air. Kill. Showing it. Snap.
From the gun, Eason. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. David Moore, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Browns make some inroads here on that deficit. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that'll cut the lead to 17-7. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. They'll run on first down. Swift And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith. They'll keep it on the ground. Swift, only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those three guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just run.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Troy Apke, and his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his second interception of the game, and so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
For the Browns, good starting field position as they have it 1st and 10 at the 45. Throwing to start the drive. Eason. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Yeah. Mike 5'9",
Operating from the gun. Eason. That's caught at the 25. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. DeAndre Hopkins, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
Gotta spin. Hey, Topper!
They'll keep it on the ground. Swift, and some room to maneuver. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. A great play there. His 25th touchdown. Tying him at Smith for the 5th most in one season. And the Broncos push further out in front. Prater for the extra point. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Browns' drive about to get started. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
You're out. I'm trying to collect. Go. Sponge. No. Ready?
On first down, Eason going deep for Hopkins. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Team six. Shoot.
Throwing again. Eason. They complete it to Hill. 19 yards the pickup there. Move the chains.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes. Well, we saw them there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Looking to throw on second down. Eason. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. The defensive player of the year, Aaron Donald. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Come on, set. 70, Indy.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Browns on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and forever.
Watch, twitch. Hey, lock it. Check. Tight dog.
Off the play fake. Eason. And the pressure gets to him again. Wesley Woodyard. He's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks brings up 4th down. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Cleveland. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. And this one will wind up being down just outside of that 20-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. There are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Easy. X3, 218, chopper.
They'll keep it on the ground. Swift, and he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
Hey, alert. Hey, turn it up.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Fielded just inside the 20. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. A throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Hey, echo.
57 to Mike.
Hey.
Ready? 57 to Mike. 57 to Mike. Watch the slant.
You back.
To throw again. Eason. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Clark. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
Interception, baby. All day. All day.
Intercepted. The Broncos take over 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line.
Like 5.
Mike 59. Target, 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 target. Kill, kill, kill.
No spacing.
Kill, kill.
On 1st down, Swift. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. A great effort there. His 26th touchdown, drawing even with Marshall Faulk for the 4th most in a single season. And the Broncos use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Extra point good by Prater. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. And you combine a big leg with a mile-high air, there's the outcome. This will sail out of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go. 90 Wolf. Recon 132 fighter. 5. Don't be scared of it. Snap.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Now he'll let this one go. Deep left sideline. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I remember throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. And they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Well, they'll get 15, but that won't be nearly enough. It's 4th down. They had quite a hole to dig out of there on 3rd and long. Not able to get the first, but a pretty good-sized run.
A really good run, but how much confidence do you have in your next play call that you can sell to the head coach? Let's go get it on 4th down. Do you really have a play you believe in, or are you just hopeful? And you've got to sell it to the big man before it gets called.
On 4th down, Eason. That is caught. It's Perriman. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's letting it fly for Cooks. And that will be incomplete. Looked like it might have been intercepted, but he's out of bounds. And a good thing, too, probably. That would have cost him yardage. And now they'll get the ball back on the turnover on downs. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Switch gears, switch gears.
Hey, Delta.
Throwing again. Eason escaping the pressure right. He's got this one complete to Perriman. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos 39. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. Throwing on 1st down. Eason now in desperation. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Browns get a score closer. They go for just 1 here as it's up and good. And that will get them 1 closer. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. This will be taken short. And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And a few kneel downs should come very close to finishing this one off, depending on whether or not we see any defensive timeouts. They still have 2, but using them would just be prolonging what's really already been decided. They'll run on 1st down. Swift. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. He was close to flirting with that sideline, but able to stay in bounds like his coach wants him to do and keep that clock moving.
Isn't it funny that we're watching this play when we had that discussion just yesterday about this? What do you do in this scenario? What do what's your mindset? It appeared to me that he'd totally forgotten that he needed to stay in bounds, and then the last second, oh no, I better get down. And he ended up doing the right thing. But at that point, maybe close to letting it slip away.
Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
General West. Jim. He's coming. We got double up. You go tight. You got 16. You got tight. Black and burn.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again, but they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly, then they'll take it from there.
Going to flare this one out to Gurley in the flat. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11.
Let's get it. Check Leo. Hey, Alpha.
2nd and 11. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it, and they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
So for the Broncos, the train just keeps rolling. 9-0 now to start this campaign. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Browns, the perfect season was apparently not meant to be as they drop to 7-1. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Yeah. One up and up, it's magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic.